unit. What does it mean? Well, Urban Dictionary will tell us that it means an absolute machine of a person. Looks like they never leave the gym and are usually out to cause trouble. Or alternatively, that it means a person or object who is large in the sense that nothing can get in their way. But that's not all there is to it. You see, the word means more than that. It depicts those rare specimens of this species who are blessed with the most remarkable and large of builds. It stands for the most titanic of titans. It calls for the bosses of big. It gathers the kings of colossal. Oh, my hands. It elects the mayors of mass. It conveys the most bountiful of behemoths. It defines those rare few who have juggernaut proportions so remarkable they shake this moon base. Hi, I'm Cameron Redacted, and welcome to
The absolute size of Fincho.
Who said that? But before we get into things, I'd just like to give a huge word of appreciation to Slazo, from whom this video is heavily inspired. He's already made 2 videos calculating the absolute sizes of 2 of arguably the most influential units on this planet. But today, I'm going to be talking about one of my own, Fincho. But who is Fincho? A very good question. A very good question indeed. You see, you could say that Fincho represents all of us. But if you said that, you'd be wrong. So let's discuss who Fincho really is. Now, this description is a little long-winded, but believe me, it is worth it in order to arrive at the absolute treasure trove at the end. So, I don't know if you remember that clip of this thing called the Glob Go Gag Glab that just randomly started blowing up a little while ago. Well, he's part of an animated film called Stravinsky and the Mysterious House, and I actually bought the entire film for £5 a little while ago, and honestly, it is a work of art, well worth the money. Well, anyway, it was animated by an animated company called Hope Animation. Now, one day when Joel was at my house, he happened to go on the Hope Animation YouTube channel, and from there he discovered the other channels page where he found a wealth of other animation companies, one of which was this thing called Jelly Tea Topic. I think there's some kind of underground, top secret, non-government approved network of tiny animation channels hidden by the YouTube algorithm, but that's not the point. So, basically, Joel went on the channel and discovered this film. I need to stop doing air quotes. And again, the film deserves an entire video of its own, and a little while back, Joel promised he'd make one.
Right, mark my words, I will make a video about this film, okay?
But he still hasn't made it! Anyway, enough about Joel's awful upload schedule. Let me tell you about the film he discovered. So, the basic plot is this young kid with 4 different names that he and everyone else in this backwards tale alternate between. I mean, seriously, is this lad's name Ivan, Jelly Tea, Gummy Tea, or Victor? But anyway, the film basically follows him and his epic journey to get buff. Yeah, I don't get it either. Plus, unlike Stravinsky and the Mysterious House, this thing is an entire, full-on, hour-and-a-half film. So, Joel skipped to a random point, roughly 20 minutes in, and as fate, karma, and pure destiny would have it, he stumbled upon the greatest scene in the world. Essentially, the scene depicts our protagonist, Jelly Tea / Gummy Tea / Ivan. You know what? Let's just stick with Ivan for simplicity. Being marched around town by who I can only hope is his dad, before, eventually, they arrive at a gym, as, of course, Ivan's on an epic mission to get buff? Yeah, I don't get it either. But upon entering the gym, Ivan, as well as us, the audience, are blessed with one of the greatest characters ever put to film, Fincho. I just don't know what's so funny about this scene. Whether it's Fincho's absolute juggernaut proportions, or the way he just whisks Ivan around the gym like an Eiffel Tower, or the weird music that plays as he does it, or the fact that over the course of the film, the captions slowly become out of sync with the film until at this scene where Fincho randomly proclaims, "Are you lost?" The whole thing's just brilliant. But what about his name? Where did the all-powerful Fincho pick up his label? Well, you see, the version Joel stumbled upon was in a foreign language, and since the only language I'm fluent in other than English is reverse, I don't understand the film, and neither does Joel. I've since found an English trailer for it online, but it explains literally nothing. And in order to buy the whole film, I'd have to pay about £7.50, and believe me, I am not making that mistake, I mean blessing, again. But anyway, whilst I'm pretty sure no name was given to this mysteriously hench gym owner, we wouldn't have known if there was one. So, we were tasked with finding one, and we settled with Fincho? And why, you might ask? We know how the only thing Pokemon can say is their names. It's kind of the same deal with Fincho, because whilst he and Ivan are exercising, he almost seems to chant the word Fincho. So we named him after that. And so, the character had become immortalised in both our brains and our hearts. And soon, he started popping up all over my channel.
Look how bulbous his chin is.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at his proportions. How is that a human? Those aren't human proportions. Like,
the character became a household name and a staple for West Virginia. And the legacy of Fincho was complete. But anyway, you didn't come here to discover the awesome tale of Fincho, though that is an added bonus. You came here to discover how big he really is. Because this guy is huge. Really huge. So, the first step to calculating how big he really is was to find a frame in which he's at his full, majestic height. But unfortunately, once I'd started writing the script for this video, the high-quality full version of the film, but that was in a foreign language, got taken down from the internet, I assume on copyright grounds, so I had to spend an entire morning finding another version. And sadly, the best I could find was this really low-quality video of the first 30 minutes with incomprehensible audio, so I've been forced to use that. So, some of the clips you'll see will be from scenes already saved on my iPad, but the rest will be stuff from the rubbish version after the other one got taken down. But anyway, let's get down to business. So, after rewatching this scene far too many times to be considered healthy, or even human at this point, I decided that the best frame out of this absolute portfolio of Goliath strength is this one, where Fincho is forcing Ivan to do some pull-ups. Which, can I just point out, the absolute size of this lad. But, irregardless of Fincho's mammoth build, this is a good frame because it shows him at his full height, which is very helpful for measuring. But the problem is that we have nothing to compare Fincho to in this frame. Except Ivan. So then I thought, if I can work out how tall Ivan is, I can work out how many times taller Fincho is than Ivan, and multiply his height by that. So I scanned through the video for about 15 minutes, and eventually found this shot. Glorious, I know. Now, I wouldn't say that it's a gold mine necessarily, but it'll certainly get the job done. You see, here we have a clear shot of Ivan stood in front of a door, and this is good because it gives us a set measurement to use as a scale in order to work out Ivan's height. So, a quick internet search tells us that the standard height of a door is 6 feet and 8 inches. Or, to put it correctly, 1 metre and 98 centimetres. And in this shot, by dividing the height of the door by the height of Ivan, you can calculate that the door is exactly 1.6 times bigger than Ivan, putting him at roughly 1 metre and 24 centimetres, or just under 4'1", or just under the average male height for an 8-year-old. Which, to be fair to my GCSE level calculations, looks about right to me. Then, returning to our original shot, now that we have the height of Ivan, if we compare Ivan's size in this shot from the bottom of his lower leg to the top of his head and divide it by Fincho's measurements, we work out that Fincho is a colossal 3.39 times bigger than a van, putting his total height at 4 meters and 20 centimeters, and in feet is roughly 13'9".
Those are some pretty shocking numbers, but let's put them into perspective.
So, whilst different sources seem to give slightly different numbers, generally the majority seem to be saying that the average world height for a male is roughly 171 centimeters, which Fincho more than doubles. Here it is on screen. I mean, seriously, the proportions of this man make me lose sleep at night. But Fincho isn't competing with the average man. Fincho is something special. He's a unit. So let's put him up against the very best. So, the tallest man to ever live was a man by the name of Robert Wadlow, who was reportedly 272 centimetres, or a little under 9 foot. Here he is next to an already fairly tall man, here he is next to some kids, and here he is one last time for you to soak in the sheer height of this man. And here he is next to Fincho. And so, here it is, clear as blue juice. Fincho is the tallest man to ever live. It's a bit of a wild discovery, I'm not gonna lie. Next, there are two major species of elephant on this planet, the bigger of which is the African elephant. And here's Fincho next to one of them. Hold on. Can we just slow down for a minute and appreciate the absolute size of this lad? Because I think it needs emphasising that this absolute god is bigger than an elephant. And not only is he impossibly tall, but he's a gym owner. He lifts weights all day. We actually see this in the actual film.
Look at the flick of their wrist.
So not only is he taller than an elephant, he's probably damn well stronger as well. The statistics are both staggering as well as true. And finally, here's Fincho next to the tallest animal on the planet, the giraffe. And for the first time, he is beaten. But just remember, giraffes are just tall and skinny, but Fincho is large in every proportion. And that concludes this video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Goodbye to the absolute units.
Adios from the most titanic of titans.
Au revoir from the kings of Colossal.
Prêché to the bosses of big. Auf Wiedersehen from the mayors en masse.
And ciao from the most bountiful of behemoths.
Fare thee well.
So, some of the clips will be scenes...
You might want to redo that, was just zoomed in.